Let's now head to Burundi, where the Burundi National Party, CNDD yesterday held massive protests in Bujumbura against a scathing report by the UNHCR detailing massive human rights violations in the country. The Burundi National Party claims that report by UNHCR is partisan. Let's now link up with our Trix Ngado, keeping an eye on this situation from the capital, Bujumbura. Trix, what is the latest from there?
Thank you very much, Michelle. Like we said yesterday, there was a lot of details about what that report entailed and the reasons why these people weren't happy, and they came out in their thousands. And just to paint you a picture, probably picture a huge stadium, then take those people out of that studio and pour them into the streets of Nairobi. That's what it looked like. So those people came out, they marched throughout Bujumbura for almost 20 kilometers, just going round, going through going past the UN offices just to give their voice on this matter, saying that they do not agree. And they also, earlier on, I did speak to the Deputy Secretary General of the CNDD National ruling party, who's Joseph Ntakirutimana, really complicated names here in Burundi. But he said that the overall sentiment is that there is a political agenda with the UN and some of these organizations such as the EU that do not feel like they want the country to be at peace, because he said it is not possible for a country or a ruling party that enjoys the kind of support that CNDD enjoys here in Bujumbura to have the kind of problems that they're insinuating in that report. They are trying to drag, according to party members, all the skirmishes that were in 2015 all the way to 2017, and yet this country is enjoying peace. They have had been on the receiving end of tribal politics, given that they were also affected by the 1994 genocide, and they say that the government has really worked hard to pull itself out of political tribalistic politics and into democratic politics, and therefore these types of reports bring a danger of going back to those days whereby people are pitting themselves onto each other. He also told us that the members of the party are not just people of the same tribe. They're people from various tribes who come to various ethnicity, who come together to rally behind a common cause, and therefore it is not possible to have this kind of animosity right now. So I think just to give you a background on that report, it was, according to the UN, they said they interviewed over 500 people. They had over 500 respondents, and from their answers, they came up with this report. But the Burundian government has said and has been emphatic that the number of people that were interviewed were from outside Burundi, and therefore cannot be the right people to interview to give you a clear picture of what's happening in this country. It was released on the 14th of September, which is really recent. It's one of the most recent reports. And they did tell us yesterday that the issue they had with the UN is that they released a previous report, I think in July, whereby they did say that they were not happy about. So they had some preconditions. They told the UN that if you want to conduct your research in this country, there are certain ways that we would like to work with you, but the UN did not accept that. And so the UN wasn't able to work freely here in the country. And when they came out with the report, this is the reason they say it cannot be valid, because they did not go to the grassroots, did not investigate as it would be in any fair report. So some of the accusations that are being labeled against some top members of the Burundian governments are extrajudicial killings, arbitrary arrests, enforced disappearances, some sexual offenses, and also cruel and inhumane treatment by security enforcers. They do say that the alleged perpetrators are some people highly placed in the government who are abusing their power, some police agencies, members of the Burundian intelligence agency, and also the Imbonerakure, which is a section of the Burundian National CNDD party, which is the ruling party. It is a youth faction of that party, and it is basically supposed to train people or young youth into leadership, give them an entry point into the party's leadership, so that when they grow out of their youth years, they are able to clearly or properly integrate into the party's leadership. So these are some of the people that are being accused, but the party officials have been emphatic. They have said they do not agree with this report, they're not happy with it, and they want the world to know that they're being painted in a light that is not really what is realistic here on the ground. So, of course, the sentiments have not changed since yesterday. Yesterday, there was all that hullabaloo on the streets of Burundi, of Bujumbura in Burundi, and they say that the crowds are even larger when they go to rural areas here because they enjoy even better or more, the party is even more popular in the rural parts of Bujumbura, but of Burundi rather. But as for now, that's all we have. Later on, we are going to be trying to make our way to our Kenyan Burundi Expo, whereby the local government and the Kenyan government are working together to showcase culture here in how the two cultures of Burundi and Kenya can be integrated, and also trade. So we hear that even Sauti Sol will be making an appearance there. So it will be interesting to see how those two cultures integrate and how both countries can work together for the betterment of trade and just to boost their economies. But that's it from here in Burundi. We'll be giving you more from these parts of East Africa, but for now, that is it.
All right, many thanks, Trix.